we've been talking about Ben Carson as his sense that he's got this story about where he was the only honest person in his class and how he can talk to God and a $10 bill shows up the next day, and that General Westmoreland personally gives him scholarships to places that you don't need scholarships. All this stuff is sort of like hovers around the plausible and hovers around the truth in some way. But there really is a sense that this is, as opposed to Trump's braggadocio, that it's not just about sort of pumping him up and preening, that it's really sort of part, like whole fabric to hit, if you pull this strand, the sweater unravels immediately and he shatters on the ground. Here he is getting really mad about people pulling at this sweater at a press conference in Palm Beach where Carson somehow has convinced himself that Barack Obama's relationships with people like Bill Ayers was never discussed in the media. Here's that clip.
To get to the substantive issues and stop.
And that's exactly what I'm trying to do, get to the substantive issues. This is all subterfuge. Things that happened 45, 50 years ago. That's all.
Get them out of the way and move on.
As far as I'm concerned.
Pause it for 1 second. Understand, it's not just that these events happened 40 or 50 years ago. It's that he wrote about them much more recently than that. And that he's running, like we had this conversation with Digby, on his personal bio, right? Because he's not selling his governmental experience. He's running on his personal bio. And so this becomes a really important thing to analyze if you're actually going to be crazy enough to vote for him.
As far as I'm concerned, they are out of the way. Now, and let me just say one other thing. I do not remember this level of scrutiny for one President Barack Obama when he was running. In fact, I remember just the opposite. I remember people just, we won't really talk about that. We won't talk about that relationship. Well, Frank Marshall Davis, we don't want to talk about that. Bernadine Dorn, Bill Ayers, he didn't really know him. All the things that Jeremiah Wright was saying, not a big problem. Goes to Occidental College, doesn't do all that well, and somehow ends up at Columbia University. Well, I don't know. His records are sealed. Why is his record sealed? Why are you guys not interested in why his records are sealed? Why are you not interested in that? Let me ask that. Can somebody tell me why?
Why do
please?
You think they are?
I'm asking you why it's sealed. Why? No, don't change it. I'm asking you, will someone tell me, please, why you have not investigated that? I want to know.
Why are you raising it?
Why? Because I want to know. You should want to know, too. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 minute. 1 second here. Now, you're saying that something that happened with the words, a scholarship was offered, is a big deal, but the President of the United States, his academic records being sealed is not. Tell me how there's equivalency there. It doesn't matter where it is. Tell me how. That is a silly argument. Tell me how there's equivalence there. Tell me how there is equivalence there. Tell me somebody, please. Because you see, what you're not going to find with me is somebody who's just going to sit back and let you be completely unfair without letting the American people know what's going on. And the American people are waking up to your games.
It's weird that they don't allow Ben Carson's records at West Point to be sealed because there are no records.
I had a 4.0 at West Point. That's all I have to say. And why have you not asked one Barack Obama about his best friend Osama bin Laden? Oh, we just let that all. Oh, he killed him. Okay, supposedly he killed Osama bin Laden. We just let that go. But then all of a sudden,
hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second.
No, I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm going to finish a sentence.
Wait a second.
But I beat Kobe Bryant in one-on-one.
Reverend Carson, let me ask you this. Are you suggesting that the only difference between you and your friend and Osama bin Laden and Barack Obama is that when Obama stabbed him, it didn't hit his belt. Is that what you're basically saying? I mean,
well, you can infer what you can infer what you want to infer, but I think people are tired of the games that are being played, and I'm not going to let these games be played anymore. When I reverse dunked on Walt Chamberlain, that was the truth of my story. And if you want to look him up,
Walt Chamberlain, do
yes,
you really
Walt Chamberlain was a cousin of mine who is deceased. And he taught Wilt Chamberlain how to play basketball. And I'm tired. I'm not going to take it anymore. No one asked Barack Obama how he passed calculus at high school in Hawaii. No one asked Barack Obama why him and Saddam Hussein gave each other back rubs in the 1980s. No one asked Barack Obama why him and Mullah Omar created the Taliban together. No one asked any of these questions, but yet you come at me every day because of the passage about, and when I said I didn't want to win Wimbledon, so Roger Federer could have that, so I let him win.